Alright folks, we are back. Let's go on to the last case of Eurasia. We're going to figure out who built that satellite and we are going to stop it. Let's go. Case 18, Countdown to Murder. Oh wow. Sergeant Jacob, this is a disaster. Zombra not only finished building their satellite, but now we know they intend to launch it from Cosmos' factory in Kazakhstan. I still haven't been able to research Natasha to let her know that the Cosmos facilities has been infiltrated by Sombra. No matter. Elliot has managed to override Cosmos security systems to give you clearance, so nobody will stop you from entering the launch site. You cannot let Operation Darkness Descends to go a step further. You must get to Cosmos' site and stop that launch. Keep in mind that anyone you come across may be working for Sombra. Trust no one. Except Archer, of course. He'll be your partner for the mission. Thanks for the vote of confidence, Chief Ripley. If that satellite goes in orbit, Sombra will take over all over satellites and civilization as we know it will end. Now get to the launch site. There's no time to lose. How did you, the Bureau idiots, get in here? This is a restricted area. The Bureau has its ways, Ms. Romanova, especially when the safety of the world is at stake. Safety of the world? What are you talking about? Sombra's satellite is here in the Cosmos launch site, Ms. Romanova, and if it launches, Sombra will take over all active satellites, which means they can take over the world. You're throwing your wild accusations around again. Sombra can't have infiltrated Cosmos. They did compromise Cosmos, and we have proof. Sergeant Jacob found counterfeit swipe cards at Sombra's hidden satellite factory in Mongolia. Sombra agents are probably setting up the launch right now. You must get to the launch control room so Sergeant Jacob can stop this. I guess even if I only have the weight of what you say is true, we cannot take any chances. Please, Sergeant Jacob, follow me to the launch control room. Okay. I definitely don't know how to say that since it's Russian. Let's go. Of course, I'll try to get at least a star so I can proceed further. There's the body. Plastic device. Not enough for a star. So close. With the rocket still here. Well, the good news is that the satellite has been launched. But the bad news is that we have another dead body on our hands. What's more, that's Sergeant Jacob. That dead man. That's Vitaly Borodin. Borodin's one of the most powerful senators in Russia. He's the head of the Security and Defense Committee in the Federation Center Council. I didn't even know he was coming here. So the senator came here without anyone knowing? I agree, Jacob. That sounds dodgy. Borodin must have walked in on the Sombra agent who was supposed to press that button. That would explain why the satellite hasn't been launched. Now I must go take the measures to be sure that the rocket stays on the ground, if you'll excuse me. Glad to know Natasha's back on our side. Good point, Jacob. Maybe whenever his edge onto the victim's forehead can tell us who the killer was. Jacob, have you found any more clues? Those pieces of paper look like a torn photo. We'll piece them all back together, I'm sure. What's that plastic device? It looks like one of my old handed games, except there's blood on it. It looks like there's some text missing. You'll need a Justin kit. We need to ask Miss Romanova how something like this could happen at the Cosmos launch site. Wow, right away we got ourselves a suspect. Wow, I am speechless. Alright guys, I'll go ahead and grab some stars, so I'll see you guys when I grab some stars. This is Galaxy Now 2026, over and out. Alright folks, we are back. Let's go on and continue on. Oh, what's this? Seems like it's the victim. So So that photo you found at the crime scene was just a selfie of the victim? How does that help us? You're right, we could retrace his steps, but where the heck did he take this selfie? I miss. It is really quite simple. There's only one place in the world where this photo could have been taken. Bayterick Tower. Dude, DuPont, how can he know where the photo was taken? Do you see the globe in the corner? It's at the top of the tower. The tower was built to commemorate Kazakhstan independence in 1997 and symbolizes a giant tree of life with an egg perched in the branches and... Thanks, DuPont. You can fill us in on the order details later. Right now, we have to skedaddle to Bayterick Tower and look for the clues about the victim's activities. You're right. Okay. I'm gonna have to do this twice just to get another star, just in case if there's actually just in case if I have to use all 8 of the stars. There's a helmet, protest sign, it's obviously gonna be something. Bell. Balloon. ID badge, atom symbol. Where's the ID badge. There it is. Not enough for a star ball. Go back in. Did you find any clues around the tower, Jacob? A security badge. For a physics conference, this woman looks vaguely familiar. Maybe you can find a match in the database. I'm gonna load this protest sign. Someone thinks our victim was public enemy number 1. I don't see any other protest stuff around here. Seems like this was one-person demonstration. Jacob, if you can collect the sample of the yellow powder on the protest sign, maybe we'll figure out who that anti-Baron fraction is. I think I may know who it is. It's that one that has I am free on their arms. You know what I'm talking about when I say I am free on their arms. It's written on their arms. Or not pants, skateboard, meteorite, flying saucer, owl, and a rocket. That is enough for another star. Alrighty, let's go on and continue this up. Let's see what it is. That's interesting. Oh, I don't know how to say that. So what's written on that plastic device that you found near the body? It's all Siluric. Let's get this hunk of plastic to DuPont so he can tell us what it says. Yeah, nice. It's actually really nice to actually see DuPont actually do some stuff for us. 3 hours. It's really nice that he's actually helping this time around. Interesting. Oh, we don't have to vacuum? Okay. Oh, it's right there. Did you manage to get a sample of yellow powder from the protest sign? You're right. You could totally take a look at it under the microscope. Okay. Okay, let's go in and examine the security badge. Yep, that's obviously something. That's obviously somebody that we already met before. It's actually from case 17 that the last time we saw her. It's not that. It's Anya Ivanova. That band-aid on her face could be a clue. So, Jacob, did you find a match for the photo on the physics conference security badge you found near the Bayterick Tower? That woman on the badge is actually Anya Ivanova, the MGB agent. The last time we saw her was in Mongolia. She was trying to track down Sombra to get back in the good books at the MGB. But the MGB called her back to Moscow, so what is she doing here? And why has she disguised herself? Could this be a cover? Well, if she came here to protect the senator, she didn't do a very good job. Looks like Anya Ivanova has some explaining to do. That band-aid on her face could definitely be a clue. Now the yellow dust. Okay. So what was that yellow powder you collected from the sign? Rose pollen? You know, someone who likes protesting and fresh roses, that's pretty specific. Who are you thinking of? She's a civil liberties protester called Agrafena Raskolnikova? And she's already been the suspect of murder twice? Well, this Agrafena is clearly not a fan of our victim. We better go ask her, Jacob. That, just like with Anya, she has a band-aid on her face, so that's probably going to be a clue as well. So it's obviously either going to be Agrafena or Anya. But it's obviously not Natasha since she doesn't have a band-aid on her face. So Miss Romanova, you're absolutely certain that this rocket is grounded. Its payload is staying right here on Earth. We can't take any chances. You have my promise, Sergeant Jacob. No rocket is going anywhere, especially if Sombra could have tampered with it. Excellent. But Sergeant Jacob has a few questions about Vitaly Borodin. What was he doing here? Your guess was as good as mine, but I can tell you that he wasn't invited. The last thing this place needs is a politician stacking his nose where it doesn't belong. He probably wanted to bug me about this stupid law he wanted to pass. Borodin wanted to use Cosmos to spy on everyone from space. That makes sense since he's the head of the Security and Defense Committee. But I take it you weren't in favor of the law? Of course, I don't approve of the law. We are a serious, significant scientific organization, not some fancy pants closed circuit security system for the government to spy on its citizens. Well, Vitaly Borodin has ceased to be a problem for Cosmos now, Miss Romanova. Thanks for your help, and please keep an eye on that rocket. Unless if she is the one controlling the rocket. That would actually change things. Unless if it's Anya. Maybe it's Anya. Hold it right there, Sergeant Jacob. You have something of mine? I know it. Anya Ivanova, looking for your badge? Well, where did your disguise go? Are you off duty? According to your badge, you're running security for the physics conference here. Is this a side job or... No, it's a full-time job. I have left NGB and started my own security business. Left? You mean you were gonna fired for going rogue in Mongolia? You needed to disguise yourself to start a business? Yeah, right. You know, Sergeant Jacob has a little theory that you were here to protect Senator Vitaly Borodin. Who's he? Never heard of him. Look, just give me back my badge and we can stop wasting each other's time. Miss Ivanova. Whenever I look at you, I see red flags. We're going to hold on to your badge for a while longer. Interesting. Now... Oh, man. Agrafena Raskolnikova. So, Miss Raskolnikova, we found your protest sign. Care to tell us why you consider Vitaly Borodin to be public enemy number one? Who do you care? Besides, Jacob already knows why. Remember the law I told you about, Sergeant Jacob? The one that would allow the government to spy on Russian citizens? Borodin is behind it. Vitaly Borodin is one of those senators trapped in the bill to crush civil liberties in Russia to nothing. Russia launches satellites from Kazakhstan, so I figured Borodin would come here sooner or later. I wanted to confront him about his horrible civil liberties, but his record and cut him down to size. Cut him down to size, huh? Interesting choice of words. Borodin was murdered. Well, you're not going to see me shed a tear for him, but I've told you before, Sergeant Jacob, I'm not the kind of person who resorts to murder. We'll let the evidence decide what kind of person you are, Miss Raskolnikova. Stick around, Kazakhstan. We're not done with you yet. Oh my goodness. My bet is that the last two suspects could be Nikolai Sharapov, since this is actually going to be taking place in the rocket ship, and maybe Ivan Wojtowski. But whatever it is, we'll see you guys in 18 or 14 hours. This is Galaxy Nail 2026. Over and out. Alright folks, we are back. So I just want to say, I just want to get this out of the way. I know I haven't completed this yet because slacking, but I just want to get this video out of the way first. So let's go ahead and get started. Jacob, the plastic device you brought me says Feltzeris on it. I looked through all my dictionaries and could not find an entry. Given the blood, I thought I should inform Laws about it, and I came running. I cannot believe that someone got blood all over their Flederis game. Flederis is a classic, it's a game where you fit geometrical shapes together and build a stack of them as fast as you possibly can. It was invented by a Russian. Anyways, while the blood on the game was the victim's, the shape of the stain makes me think the killer touched the game after the murder. We're lucky the killer didn't take the game with them. So the killer plays Feltzeris. I heard that video games can lead to violence, but this is overkill. Well, when Jacob catches the killer, it'll be game over. Interesting, that's a lot of mechanics right there. Now the victim's body. Hey Jacob, so you got there before Sombra can launch their satellite. Good job. Yep, that rocket's not going to space anytime soon. Unfortunately, the late Vitaly Borodin can't tell us anything about who tried to launch that rocket. Well, the senator did tell us something about his murder. His throat was slashed with some kind of laser. It makes sense. Cosmonaut often used laser torches to weld aluminum and other light metals in space. The laser was also used to write that Russian word on the victim's forehead. And what is that word anyway? I asked Marina what Zloy meant. It's a Russian adjective for evil. The killer's etching makes quite a statement about the victim. Maybe they had issues in the past? That may be, but in doing so, the killer left traces of mud and noodle dish on the victim. The sauce proved that it was the national dish of Kazakhstan, beshbarmak. So the killer eats beshbarmak. Looks like we gotta start solving this case, Jacob. That's interesting. Jacob, let's be absolutely clear. You're sure that no satellite will leave Cosmos' launch site? Well, Natasha Romanova has promised us that the rocket will not launch the satellite, and the satellite will stay grounded. Well, we had better jolly to make sure that's the case. Operation Darkness Ascents must be stopped, Sergeant Jacob. Given that Borodin was killed, he probably interrupted a Sombra agent to launch the satellite. So we can only be absolutely sure that the satellite will stay grounded once you find the killer, Jacob. You must get back to the launch site to find more clues. Good luck with that, Natasha. Natasha Romanov just placed the entire launch site on lockdown, and Elliot's security hack stopped working. We can't get back in. Uh-oh, that's not good news. But we'll see you guys in the next case. This is Galaxy Nail 2026. Over and out.